of this series to Mr. Harry Russell and Hugo Byron.
Wow, that was something, Mike. Yes, I do love it. Complexity up against the final boss here. A spot in the spot deck on the line. It would mean everything to this team and to NA. On the other side of things, it's Outsiders with Chiron in the squad now, trying to build upon their results in Rio. We're into Anubis. Pistol round already underway. And right now, Outsiders are leaning over towards this A side of the map where Complexity do find themselves a little lacking. So Floppy, we've seen him fall down here before. He's getting pressured. A lot of angles to consider, and the flashes wreck him, knock him out of the round. Complexity fall a man down.
Yeah, they've got to move in, though. They've got the kid on JT, Julie's on hallzerk, still tapped out by Chiron on top of Heaven, and Fame goes further forward to find more. Cole are getting decimated by Outsiders in this pistol round, and I think the A site is going to be such an important piece of real estate on this CT side for Complexity if they were to ever win this map in this series. We saw in that play-in matchup against Ents, Floppy was having a really hard time anchoring A, and it took hallzerk dropping 30+ kills, I think even 40 in that map with the AWP to make it happen. That being said, the good sign for Cole is Floppy has really improved as an individual in the last couple of games of this event. Even earlier on today against Fnatic, he was the top performer, highest rated player in the entire server, and against Mouse, it was a similar story for Floppy. So eyes definitely on this young fella as Outsiders take the pistol and Complexity force buy up.
Yeah, we had that great interview from Kicker and HLTV where he let us all know that Chiron's just like us, for real, man. He just runs in and gets headshots. They said that's why he's here. This round, he's going to do exactly that with the trade onto the flop. Finding the 4v4. It looks like JT still wants to try and fight for this control, but that molly forces him out of there. Complexity taking a lot of moves early in this force buy. They wanted to fight for this A main control, and it has put the fear in Outsiders somewhat.
Yeah, even if they recommit, they're going to slow down for a little bit because they saw that heavy stack and they don't want it to still be
Where's
apparent.
this gun? There's one, there should be one dropped just in A main, I think.
Lost in the wind. Yeah, there were some bugs of guns falling through the map, but they were hot fixed a couple of weeks ago, so that's reassuring. But man, dropping guns in water, we remember what Ancient was like when it first came out. You couldn't find the damn things. JT getting molly. Oh, it's a perfect molly. Lands right on him. He's forced back. Chiron gets that entry. hallzerk D still in the round, though. 3-on-3. He has that cross, and he can't stop Flit. With the Heaven Smoke and Con covered by Outsiders, they're going to get this free plant, and this should not be a retakeable or salvageable round.
Yeah, this boosting connector's nice, but the smoke has already faded. And Kicker's got a watchful eye on this. Dead on the swing, all right. A 2v2, Complexity. This isn't a round. They were meant to win, but here they stand, making it happen. Just Jame. And yeah, we said Outsiders like the final boss for Cole. Oh. This guy's the final boss in clutches, but they lock him out of it. Fang and Grim come together to form a round from nowhere. You'd already written that one off, Hugo, but they managed to dig deep, coming through that con smoke. They cut through the 2v3 to find a force buy round for Complexity.
I mean, can you blame me? No kit, no nades, only pistols and Outsiders with rifles and a man up in the advantage. They get caught looking like fools, looking the wrong way, and some beautiful tapping. That long-range shot for Grim was disgusting with the 5-7. And Cole, man, they are playing the CS of their careers, you could even argue, for many of these players at this tournament. Even though Outsiders so often the final boss, so often the gatekeeper, the hardest team to put away, they say. I don't know, man. There's something in it for NA today. Liquid and FaZe battling on for a Spodek spot. And these two teams just as much. Can't help but believe just that little bit in Cole. But I'm never going to count out Outsiders from any kind of crazy comeback. Grim finds Kicker just dueling into B. It's just a bunch of pistols here in this round. Outsiders don't even full force in. Cole not in the business of giving away any picks here. Little jiggle into mid for Fang, but Nothing to be seen. And even if there was, that would be the bomb he could drop. He gets flashed back in for more. And Flit, oh, great move from Flit. Even though this is super risky, he hears a flash and he moves in late off the back of it. He's ready to take a bit more space in mid. James going to try and set him up, get that info, clear mid. But Fang is not moving. He is still on this position. Not forever, though. Pressure being put on A will pull Fang back out of mid. The gap is found. Flit moves in behind the doors and Fang does not know.
Yeah, this could get really awkward for Fang. There's a world where he finds the timing, and it looks like we might just live in that one. Oh, yes. Catches them over in mid. Fang with the double. And so a sigh of relief for Complexity. The pistols, it wasn't a force in for Outsiders. The pistols don't find it. They don't do a lot of damage either. And so Complexity end up laughing all the way to the bank with a 5 alive round. That's money made. That is a perfect way to conclude, you know, your kind of 4-spy resurgence early in this game. It's going to tee them up nicely and make this a little more grindy for Outsiders now. You're no longer in this spot where they can just win around and, you know, your money's entirely down the drain. You actually have a bit of staying power in the early stages of this map. And versus a team like the Outsiders, that is worth its weight in gold.
Well, if there's one thing they can do, it's grind, Harry. I mean, this is a roster, a core of which that's been, you know, going on for years, if you count Dastan, the coach, and they've removed so many, you know, good players that you'd always think that they would have dropped off after these changes, but still finding a way to make runs, to come top 8 in majors, and even to win one back in Rio. An exciting story, certainly, for the Outsiders, but one that might end in disaster if they don't close this game as favorites today. Got combos, see a lot of these for JT on T and CT side towards Dark, but Chiron just spams the smoke and finds that entry kill. Grim's still here, up close. They might not be ready for a man, still fighting for this position, but Chiron doesn't need help nor a trade. He's got 2 already. That's just an open path into the B bomb site, and Outsiders will take it.
He's been given the bomb to plant, trying to tee up Outsiders for this round win. And in the 5v3, really on numbers alone, like Complexity might have been able to fight their way back into that 2v3 retake with the force. But this is one that you just write off every day of the week. It's not really worth throwing the resources down the drain on this one. They will just have to save these guns in this holding pattern over towards spawn. The retake never comes through. Lovely round for Chiron.
Yeah, I mean, where does James find these kids, right? Like, bringing in Fame already was such a firepower piece for Outsiders to go and take a major victory, and now adding in a guy who we saw even last year back in the Academy League draw a lot of attention in Chiron. I think he's a player with so much potential, and even though he can seem very erratic at times, that's something that we gain from watching him and we play and hearing his comm segments especially. I think if there was anyone who could tame that into, you know, an effective, efficient player, it would be someone like James.
Yeah, you know, this was a change that you and I, you know, unlike when you kind of have guys like Fame coming up through the rankings, you and I actually kind of had like a good eye test of Chiron already thanks to the Academy League. And it was a change we were excited about coming into this. I can't believe this is our first time getting to cast the Outsiders here, but I was really looking forward to it. And man, I like, you know, that interview from Kicker might have been a bit of a meme in terms of saying like, yeah, he's just here to run in and get headshots. That's his role. But I think that's kind of the perfect way to use him, right? I think if you started layering him up with having to do all this supportive util, trying to set up guys like Fame, no, I don't think that's how you get the most out of Chiron. I don't think that's how you make him comfortable. And that also runs a bit counterintuitively to James' style of play. So it shows that he's really doing what he can to get the most out of this youngster before, you know, fully bringing him up to speed. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I don't think he's the kind of player that you would have go nervous. Like, if Outsiders make it to the spot, I don't think Chiron's going to be all scared of the crowd. I think he's a very confident guy, and that could go a long way in making a playoff run here in Katowice. So, you know, as much as we want NA to succeed, what an exciting time it is for Complexity, in the back of my head, I do want to see Chiron on a stage soon. Whether it's this week, yet to be seen. That's the question we're trying to answer this evening. Double dark setup, hallzerk on the pillar as well. And it is going to be that B split here for Outsiders. 35 seconds now. They're still fighting for dark. Cole putting on a lot of pressure. Chiron's got cover though, and he is a thorn in their side. Now Cole, focus on the B main area. Outsiders are running through.
Yeah, Grim up close. If there ever was a time for a vintage Grimithy spray down, it's in this moment. There's one. Oh. Make it the double. Grim will not let them into B. They've gone out, they've tried to play this opening hand, and they've come up short, and for Outsiders, that is a save call.
What a fantastic realization for Cole that Chiron was just a bait there. They put so much stock on fighting dark with 3 players around that area, including hallzerk, and then they realized if Chiron's backed off to this cubby, if he's holding and he's not actually trying to take this space, he's just a distraction. He's just a bait for the B main push. Grim comes up with 2 kills. They shut out any chance Outsiders have of getting into that site. Complexity win a rifle round. Already very back and forth in this series. In an extremely exciting map that even when we saw Outsiders debut back at the end of last year, it was underwhelming. I think that was against Liquid. We did not see a lot, but I always enjoy teams that adopt or adapt to new maps immediately when they come out. And yeah, there's going to be some teething issues. There's going to be a trial period. But we've seen a lot of cool things this week in Katowice on Anubis. Different kind of scope for hallzerk towards B on an off angle. Should be good to get some damage off a full back. And he'll need to, because Chiron once again leading the fray into this site.
Grim just takes up this position and keep an eye on B main, but you'll note that third player in hallzerk who was over towards B has just up and left this side of the map. Complexity, they've lent strong over towards that A site. So B is a little less protected. We do have the mid-rotate peeling away. Fang coming back. This is good timing on this decision to pull a third man over out of Cole. Flashes rain in. There aren't smokes down. There isn't util to cut off these angles. It was all dependent on those flashbangs and finding the entries. Outsiders fall short, and this is a round falling on deaf ears. I think, you know, if you want to try and uproot Complexity, you're going to have to throw a little bit more at them than that. A handful of flashes.
Yeah, barely smoke XX on B, you're noticing as well, right? Like, while a lot of the presence is just come in contact, Outsiders really didn't want to give the info away to Cole. It's a gamble that makes all the difference in Fang rotating over. But, you know, Cole went for info. They threw a flash out B main at about 40 seconds. No one even fired, even though Chiron was full blind. He just held it. And, you know, that's Cole trying to get info, trying to force a player spraying. Are they here? Are they grouped? Can I hit more than one gun? And yeah, Outsiders keep it very, very quiet. They just walk in really with a flash. They don't do any kind of util. There's a temple smoke that comes in late, but you leave all these angles open, and Cole will be happy to take fights from back plat. They win the majority, and they put Outsiders back on pistols. That's 2 rounds now outside of B, where Outsiders have had to save their guns.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit of a shame because I think Complexity do have some CT tendencies on Anubis that can be exploited with good utility. I'm going to hold this thought because Fang is maybe in hot water, that nade pull. It makes me nervous. They're already ahead of it, and yeah, they run it in. They hear that nade come out, and they know that they've got a kill on a platter up close in mid. Response is in. Outsiders have left the bomb in spawn. So, even if they get these A kills, they're going to have to go back and get it.
Well,
that could have uprooted the round, but I guess, thankfully, they don't get the A kills. So it never comes to matter, I think. Jame, 1v4. Ooh. Nice opener. A lot more still to do. They're keeping an eye on the minimap. They should spot that he doesn't have this bomb either, but they decide to fight him anyway. And so Complexity on to a 5th, continuing this streak of rounds, 3 in a row now, 2 of which are to time for Complexity. And as I was saying, I think Ents did a very good job in their Anubis matchup versus Cole of showing how some of these tendencies can be used against Complexity, right? You know that JT is a very active player in Dark. Well, what were Ents doing about that? They had some really interesting util to try and shut it down, if you remember. They would throw that molly from the canals run up, and then they would throw that double nade that comes in through the window, right? And it was always finding at least damage, but more often than not a kill, and it was a way of kind of going 5v4 up at very minimal risk.
Outsiders threw that exact nade set earlier onto JT, but one of the nades missed, in fact, and they did about 20 damage to him with the other nade, so not that damaging, and it wasn't comboed with any molly like you say, but I like that you brought that up because it was a really nice counter. Ents played a good Anubis, I'd say, in that BO3 series, of course, one that Cole still came out the better in. They even won this map as well, but another broke by for Outsiders. Orb first in the map, fires off. Outsiders going to hear that in middle, and so hallzerk will move immediately, and his supportive element on A is going to be important again because Floppy's in a one-and-done spot. Ooh, misses that first, does recover it well, but he's blinded. He has to fight for his life, fight for survival. They find him in the corner. There's no cover there. hallzerk up close. Can he beat the flashes? They blind their own team, and he hits an easy one. Bomb dropped. Molly's a problem. Chiron gets shot through the smoke, and hallzerk putting on a show, putting on a performance. He's going to need him them orbs every damn round, and as long as he keeps putting up the goods, Cole are happy for it. James too late to the party. hallzerk's had the cake. Candles blown out, and James not long for this world.
Oh, lovely, lovely sequence from hallzerk, and it's very reassuring to see him, keeping up his strong performances all Katowice long. He's very quickly become an NA hero, right? Yeah. The Norwegian AWPer who was from a relatively obscure Dignitas lineup. Wasn't even someone that you looked at and said, like, yeah, this guy's got some real star potential about him, I would say. Sure, he had some good games, he had some quiet games in there, and Dignitas were a very middle-of-the-pack team at best. But since joining this Cole squad, since arriving in Katowice, we've seen a very scary hallzerk.
Yeah, it's definitely been his career highlight so far, and I think a very bright future ahead of him. And for Cole as well, it's just great to see NA with 2 potential spots in Spodek tonight. Which of them will be realized, though? If either. Chiron again, mollied at Dark. He's been here most of the T side for Outsiders, but you'll notice their util's pretty lacking in this round. They've got 1 smoke. Gonna try and take mid. Flit's already done so, pushed all the way through, but hallzerk's holding the double doors. They push. Oh! I don't know what happened there. He just, I think, dinked Floppy through the box, but he gets beat up himself, and Fame cannot escape as Fang goes to hunt him down, body floating, bobbing like apples. hallzerk still has middle. It's scary to look wide on the right side towards the house, but he goes for it anyway, and that's where Flit's found. Outsiders want this A split. With Flit's timing, it's going to be so important. Can they pull hallzerk out of position? Can they catch him in rotation? Or will Flit just get orbed the second he moves through? hallzerk's making the magic happen, and Flit cuts it down to perfect kill timing, as now it's all on Fang.
Yeah, the mid-split does add pressure. Fang has alleviated a lot of it, but sandwiched between main and the mid-wrap will fall. His heroics in this round. It's a big 3K from Fang, and now Grim and JT have got to finish what he started. Flit holding for this push, both coming from this angle, and he's going to nail both the shots. Chiron doesn't even need to get involved. Outsiders with a reply, and it's that later swing from Flit coming through middle while Chiron's pressuring main that catches Fang in a very, very rough spot inside of the site.
And I don't know if it's a comm issue there or if it's just a misread from Fang, because he did so much, but he wasn't ready for a 4th man for a main. He looked so sure that they were both coming from middle, turned over, completely gave his back up to main, and yeah, hallzerk's pissed because he's the guy. He's the first domino that falls, trying to early rotate to A when he even had 2 teammates in the bomb site. and gives over that gap in middle. We've already seen some lurky T-side rounds in mid for Outsiders. It can be very effective, considering how dangerous it is to peek deep mid as a CT on this map. And this is one of the reasons why. Boost up for Jame, and I love when teams do this boost. They often send a player walking through the smoke, knowing they have cover. They take mid again. They leave Flit there, but ooh, Ollie packs Chiron. Ooh, he's a little scared, spooked, and actually goes all the way back out of Dark. Maybe at the right timing, because there are still nades coming in for Cole, and they have a couple more smokes and mollies left in this round. Heavy B setup. Some important patience for Flit. He's not got an orb to worry about, though, this time. It's stuck back on B.
Oh, hallzerk first to fall again.
Wow.
Fame is holding for the dark push, and Grin offers up a bit of resistance, but we're going to need so much more out of this solo B player. Grim doubles up. Is that going to be enough to keep Complexity in this round? It's a big flank from Floppy, and Fang's coming through the smoke at CT. Flit is worlds away from this B site, now moving in through Dark, and Fang is fighting him again, goes back in for more. He didn't need to, but he does.
The confidence on Fang to not just pop through that smoke, knowing he had a 1v1, but to hunt that final kill as well. He had bomb down open, he had time on his side. That was a round laid in and ready for Fang, and he still goes hunting for the kill. That's how Cole are feeling right now, very confident. And as far as the B split goes, it's a little disjointed for Outsiders. Fame, even after that double kill in Dark, takes so long to come through the choke point that he gets shot from an A flank. Meanwhile, they've already traded Grim. They're already out A and they're planting, and two players are not even there. Super late for Outsiders, and they're going to pay the price.
It's really cool because I think, you know, in these kind of high stakes matchups that we have going on right now, it's one of these ones where there's a serious link between the games that we have going on the main stream and over here on the B stream, right? It's super interesting because obviously it's like for Grim, for NA as a whole, there's like this chance of, actually, I'll break it down, you know, for NA as a whole, there's a chance of having two teams going through today. That's a huge bit of news. On top of that, you've got Grim's old team, ex-teammates battling on over on the mainstream. Also, your Kindar, ex-outside players over there in the Liquid ranks, right? It's very cool, the kind of, you know, links that we have between these games right now. I don't envy everyone at home trying to keep their eye on both streams because, man, how do you even pick one to watch here? Outsiders, they've got a hero gun and a force buy, but the opener's not found. There's a trade at least. Grim, still a threat, often good for a multi-kill, but they get ahead of him. They put him down. Instead, Floppy has got to be that missing piece. He's low on health. hallzerk comes rotating in. Floppy is a shot away from certain death here, and Outsiders do not have to commit into B. They're going all the way back with this bomb. Flit's trying to get ahead of it and move into the A site, and with hallzerk dead, slipping into Dark, this should be a done deal.
Yeah, I love how Jamie even hangs around there. He knows that his spot is unlikely to be cleared, and even if it is, he just knows he can cut down rotations. That's the best point to stop the bomb from crossing, taking that Dark angle and making sure that you can catch the bomb rotating out of B. James disallows it in this round. And nice fragging into B on a very low econ buy for Outsiders. Just a quicker pace. And that has broken Cole's money completely. They're down to 1,700, 2K a player. Not a pretty situation, as Outsiders now have been given an opportunity to build into this half after all. Jamie insta-scopes towards Dark, but JT doesn't really dry peek this ever. It's more often you'll see the one-way come down, the molly behind it. Right now he's only got a deagle. Dink through the wall. Chiron's hunting it. He does hop out of danger for now, but it feels inevitable. Can Chiron hit the molly? Team Spirit certainly couldn't, and this one apparently is very difficult. Still, Chiron pushes out behind it and looks to double kill in the site. Fame helps out, and everyone gets goods on this B site now for Outsiders. More util being used than before. And Cole just trying to get out with guns. They could grab an AK and save, that'd be lovely, but Outsiders are on damage control right now.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little threatening. This T side starting to spiral. This might only be 2 rounds in a row, but it can get snowbally very, very quickly, right?
For sure. If we start seeing AXX for Outsiders as well, and Cole are going back to these heavy B setups, and Outsiders, I'd almost love to see James call like a quick A attack now with an exec, and you know, just run over Cole again like they did on that B rush. Because you can still win this half if you're Outsiders. They're in a very dangerous position. Cole have nothing to play with right now. Just those save pistols. So while they started this game very strong, they're still in hot water. First timeout used. I mean, that's at least reassuring. They know they've been controlling this game, but they won't let it get ahead of themselves. Seeing some nasty aim out of Fame and Flit specifically.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting when you look at how, you know, the kind of pieces that James has to work with here is so different from, you know, Outsiders rosters of old, right? He's got a lot of opening pieces in his team now, a lot of guys who have that ability to open up rounds and like to play at the front, and that was never really what you used to think of. It goes without saying when you thought about James-led teams.
So often just your Kindle, right? Like he would go for these mad entries, go kill 2, and then Outsiders would go back into a really slow default on T sides. Now, yeah, if anything,
you've got 3 like entry pieces, right? And it's like Kicker is kind of the last of actually that like James era, right?
And on certain maps, Kicker's still in positions where he's, you know, going for opening kills, like a T side Inferno, for example, often working Banana on his own. And ooh, look at this. Fame in the cringe spot, but he's cornered, they're running at him. And he's trapped right now, nowhere to go. Just looking for some assistance from his squad. James will be there for 1. Ooh, little push for Grim. But they're going to turn around and face him together. How annoying. Yeah, if anything, you'd imagine that James would have to, in many rounds, calm these guys down and stop them from, you know, fully sending it in some post plants in certain positions. But of course, if you play with James, under James, you play for James. You play his style. You've got to believe in it because it is so different to so many of the other top teams that we know. But even now, not too hungry are Outsiders. They let the kills come to them, and they certainly will. 5 alive again for the Outsiders as they get rid of these pistols once more. Complexity, an important rifle round that even then won't be the best buy they're going to field, but at least we'll have that AWP. And now that's a big question, right? Because Outsiders are doing a good job of avoiding it or, you know, making hallzerk feel like he has to rotate out of position and then catching him while doing so.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the kind of win conditions for Complexity have often been Grim and hallzerk lights out, right? That always helps this squad take it over the line. And we're getting Grim with great mileage to open up this map. It's hallzerk who's been getting shut out in a lot of these rounds, right? Since Outsiders have gone on this little streak, since they've embarked upon it, they've done a really nice job of locking this AWP out.
There are those nades.
Yeah, they threw them over the top. The Ents nades coming in again. hallzerk waiting, but they've already taken Dark away from him. Meanwhile, aggression out of Floppy on the A side of the map. Leaves them a man down now and opens up a route into the A play for Outsiders. With Dark taken, Chiron just waits for that kill to come his way.
He's just happy to be alive right now. They're just walking out A. They might not be ready for Fang. Oh, of course the molly comes in, but it's too deep. I think he might live for a second. It burns late. He gets a kill and a ding. Damn good try. And of course, Outsiders peel back yet again in no hurry as they wait for Flit to walk through the mid-smoke. He turns for the flash and JT peeks him at the right time. Still, Chiron found another gap. They're just all over the place. Ants on either sides. And Chiron, he has cut off Temple. That opens up alternative post-plant positions for the Outsiders. They will get that bomb stuck in the mud.
Why this gets a bit weird, they were burned by that CT plant before, right? So they don't go back to it. They don't plant or try to play around Chiron in the post-plant. It's a dark play, but luckily enough, Complexity is saving, so it's never a worry the Outsiders are going to have.
Oh, hunting here is so nice for Chiron. If he finds a single kill, it's massive. He will get killed. He thought they were setting up for the retake. Oh, even another spot for JT. Outsiders can afford to lose their guns in this search. However, Complexity certainly cannot. And it's even ballsy to see Cole stay around this position after all, as Kicker comes in from that A site instead. 7-7 Outsiders. We said it after they won that eco win on the B rush. We said they can win this half, and right now they're poised to do so. A very good recovery on what has shown in many series so far to be a T-sided map at the moment. Likely still needing time for everyone to quite figure out what they're doing. Fame holding A has been very efficient in getting his own kills. They keep coming to him. Again, Cole set up with 2 in A main, looking for aggro.
Right.
You don't want to keep feeding the beast.
There is a nice little detail here, though, right? hallzerk and Floppy playing this layered setup is nice. This position is one where you're not going to have weird timings go against you, right? You are going to get a fight from a guy in main. It's probably going to be supplemented with a flash. They're still going to get a bit tricky with it. But hallzerk will have a chance at a straight-up gunfight here. You know, he's been caught on a lot of weird timings across these last few rounds.
Oh.
That is a beautiful opener from Flit in mid. He meets Fang and knocks him out of the round. hallzerk, that shot sails on past the attempted play, but Jame and Fame knocked out by the flop. And the bomb does not want to attempt the trade. Kicker has no choice but to just kind of hang around here and hope they feed him.
Nice.
There's no pressure to do that from Cole.
Nice to see them cool off, though. Like, Floppy almost went back for a 3rd kill there, and that would have been the way back in for Outsiders. Instead, disallow it. They're going to group in mid and try and trade out. This is a nice idea for Complexity. They know Flit's here. He found that kill earlier, and they won't let him get much further. Now, mid cleared out. They could even start flanking this A play. They don't have the site, but hallzerk's here on bricks to drop the bomb. And Kicker dead at the end of the half means Complexity will win it out. A nice little late streak for Outsiders, but still, the North American side sit up by 1. This game is close as it comes.
Team Liquid, something's got to give.
Money is uncomfortable for Liquid, but they could get the M4s around this AWP. What if Nitro gets this frag? How does the round play out? Inaccuracy is cruel. Elise trading the frag, but Rain swinging with the AK. Yekindar getting blown to pieces. 12-2 for FaZe Clan now. 12-10, excuse me. 4 rounds away from seats in the Spodek. The M4s are out for Liquid. They do have a goodbye. 3 incendiaries only. It'll have to be enough. OC has an excellent spawn. See what he chooses to do with it. Could hop towards short. Could go towards B. It will be into the crawl space that he goes. Up to short. Oh no, he's missed his jump.
Oh, it's a B play again. FaZe have been bombarding this B bomb site, and look at how quick this one is.
Is it a full commitment though?
Arrogance
having a look, poking towards Nav. OC misses his shot, nervous from him, sees 2 of them. Elise awkward now, but Nitro's here to help. This could be the first one for Liquid. Suddenly it's a 4-on-3. Naf at the back of the B bomb site. Everything slows down after that explosive round, but Robs is creeping on A. Man like Robs trying to find a way back in. Nitro in connector, stuck in the corner now. Robs going for the molly. Taking too many chances, too many risks.
Oh, Carrigan creeping. But Naf ready for him. Molly will force Naf into the open. Brokey drops onto him with the Tech 9. There's still 3 more to find. The swing onto Elige. Damage done in the process. Does he feel comfortable getting that bomb down? He's looking for more info. And Team Liquid respecting Brokey here, not giving him the fights that he wants. There's still the option to wrap round to A. Liquid have to consider that. They've got Yakindar in jungle, but Brokey sticks towards B.
There are holes in the defenses here for Liquid. The more he waits, the more chance there is of an A play.
Where do you even plant, though?
Oh, if he won that duel, then who knows?
Complexity managed to win out that first half of play. They put a stop to a 4-round streak from the outsiders right at the end of the half. They're doing all this while guys like hallzerk having a bit of a rough time getting started. It's been Grim and Fang topping the charts right now for Cole. On the other side of things, for the outsiders, it's a pretty top-heavy board with Fame, Flit, and Chiron rising through the ranks. Kicker and Jame, the 2 vintage players, the 2 OG outsiders, a little slower to open this one up.
Full armor in this pistol for outsiders. JT's going to try and fake out the A site, but Fame will be able to get that info soon with a jiggle. And even now being flanked by Jame is going to be awkward for JT. He's a dead man walking, and James now confirmed that there's no one here. They're ready for the B pop, getting just into position. Kicker gets blind as he takes his shot, but he recovers well with 4 headshots galore. Kicker puts it up for outsiders and shuts down that pistol round. What a performance. Almost whiffed it as the flash came in.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy for Kicker. That's a real confidence-boosting moment. Like, this is lovely, right? There's a lot of ways this could have gone wrong, and there was only 4 ways it could have gone right, and he had to hit every single one of them, and he manages it. That's the guy who was 2-9 coming into that pistol, dead last in the server. He's just rose himself up through the scoreboard and kickstarted this second half in a big way for the outsiders.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that Kicker's still on this team after so long. You know, James cut so many players over the years that, you know, maybe you wouldn't have expected. But no, Kicker's a very capable player, especially on T sides. We didn't really get that in the first half. But him and Chiron, side by side, in and outside of the server, they are the B-boys here on Anubis. Cole with just Glocks, 1 Deeg. Grim feeling it, certainly. He's been the saving grace, not just back in Copenhagen, but here as well in Kato. The player that we always wanted him to be, the player that maybe we didn't see as much of in Liquid as we would have liked. 2 A1Ss on A. Fame just gets up in the spot at the right time. They haven't got Molly to clear him. This could get awkward, but luckily enough, far away, the info is spotted from heaven, and then Fame can swing, so it's an easy lockout from the 3 A players. What a read to run that setup. Outsiders had no mid control. They just had the cross info from the A site. 9-8, and Complexity coming in with their first full buy in this T side. Looks like Floppy was even lining up a spawn smoke there for the house or dark. He'll send it right out. It's going to be dark.
Yeah, no one really moving into canals quickly, though, to get up close behind this smoke. That Complexity just using it as a bit of a ruse. That mid-smoke goes in, makes you fearful of the potential of a close window peek, a close player, so Complexity have to be pretty slow to open up this T side. I've got no real choice but to respect this mid-util, and this is feeling like what their play's centered around right now.
Yeah, the way Outsiders took mid was really nice in T-sides, right? Using boosts over the smoke to get Flit up close. Sometimes he would just dry walk it on his own and find that entry to Fang, and then just bought so much time and attention by just sitting behind the doors, not facing. Fang is going to be doing the same on this T-side now. Up right behind the smoke, waiting for it to fade, and they'll leave him there for later, either a late lurker, or if he doesn't like what he sees, he can drop back through window and come into dark. That's where the majority of Cole are right now. 2 outside of long.
They just dropped
ready for kicker, and Molly's being held.
Yeah, I was going to say, they just dropped some util over to Chiron. Outsiders have done a really good job of keeping a lot of util alive in this round till the end of it, right? Chiron, they come through that smoke, but it makes his job way easier. Thankfully, Kicker gets caught on an island, so Complexity find their way into the 4v4. 15 seconds here as they look to move in. And Chiron adds another to the tally. This is starting to spiral. Complexity full. Flit with that frag has stole the round away. There wasn't enough time. Complexity, they wanted to move in really at around about the 45-second mark. But all that util held onto from the Outsiders made that slow to a crawl. They re-smoked lower twice. Cole had to go through it. They had more util available for main to slow that down and disrupt the Complexity T-side.
And Fang couldn't find the timing to come in on the mid-lurk either. He was a little bit late to the party, hoping that if, you know, they get in, they get a bomb plant, he's going to be there to win the round and backstab, but they, they don't get comfortable. Flick comes right through on that fading smoke. And you'll notice Fang didn't go any further after the round ended, not just because he wants his gun in the next, but he also knows if he shows that he was on this temple flank, Outsiders will be cognizant of it the next time Cole run that round. So he's trying to at least keep them confused. Kick it again, primed Molotov ready in front of B main. Chiron needs to be careful going wide here because he could get spotted. Kicker doesn't even get the molly out of his hand, and they both fall with a contact B pop pistols, smash open skulls. I don't know how they just did that so easily. I don't know how that molly didn't even come down for Kicker.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit nervous about the Kicker B main hold because he's
even the round before he swung out in the open.
He's like out on islands a lot, right? Like he's not playing behind cover, not really playing in a position where he can get out of there. And he's also like, even then, right, you have like Chiron holding lower, you have like this triple like line of players. Yeah. But it felt like at times everyone's paranoid that like they're going to get swung from dark. So even guys like Kicker were turning around, checking it on timings. And of course, then they come through main. So it's actually Kicker who drops the ball. The whole time he's being paranoid about Chiron missing the timing down on lower. That's very awkward. And it's a very, you know, unorthodox way of playing over towards this this B site right now. Kicker just looks super uncomfortable, and it's not making life easy for anyone in the site with him.
I mean, it doesn't help that there was 0 warning on that play either, right? It's not like he can, because he's close main, he can hear any pin pops, any flashes primed, and he smokes over the top. No, they just start running. They walk very close, and then everyone sprints at the same second. And yeah, it just happens like that for Chiron. Immediately, the round is over, you are dead, and your entire B site is suffocated. It's a nice pocket strat for Cole, but it's not something they'll be able to get away with again. A lot of timeouts used for Outsiders, but I want to see the change towards B. Let's see what Dastan's called.
Yeah, I think something is to change, even just with the positioning, right? I don't think there's much wrong with having, like, Chiron have the potential to be exposed like that, right? But it's this idea of, you know, when you're all in that line, it's very, very easy in terms of acquiring targets for Complexity. They're not fighting anyone Temple. They're not fighting anyone from the CT cubby. They're not fighting anyone default. It's, look, in this 1 or 2 degree angle, and there is 3 dudes who we can light up and fight. It makes life way too easy.
It's so dominoes.
Now, yeah, it is dominoes. So now we should have Outsiders look to switch this up a little bit. And yeah, it looks like the change is going to be Chiron actually playing in dark, with Kicker looking to get aggressive around main. And this is nice, playing on opposite sides of the door. You've got Jame here to support as well. Chiron wins his fight down in dark. This is teeing things up for the Outsiders.
That's a nice opener. Kicker has full util, but this time at least has his gun out ready. Oh, Fang throws a lurk smoke to try and get out through main, but you can see right through this. And Chiron's found his lower kill as well. That lurk will not work. Kick, it's good for one at least. Sees the bomb. Grim, they know he's coming through. And Chiron turns on a dime for his third kill of the round. He is looking solid right now in this map, in this must-win map. And he's going to be there to be traded at the end of the round. 11-9. Again, Cole, they think they can get away with it twice with another dry B attack. But Outsiders have the position changes. They have Kick It close with his eyes on the prize. And Chiron puts up quite a hold down in dark. Cole now need to dig deep. I'd love to see, you know, a throwback to this Fang mid-lurk, see if you can get away with a little bit more. It's a position that we haven't even really seen Cole attempt in this T-side, other than that one round that was purely reliant on winning B.
Yeah, one of the things I do actually really like about this Complexity T side, though, is that they set the precedent that they are going to have players close to B main. And what that does is it kind of stifles the play that Outsiders can look to make there early that some CT squads like to do, which is, you know, maybe you underhand that close smoke or you flash through the windows and you try to fight for it. Because a lot of T-side teams elect to just hold B from around this area over towards top mid and T spawn. But not Cole. They like to fight for it. They like to contest, and so that kind of boxes you in to be a little bit more. Removes that flow of info, forces Outsiders to look for that solution elsewhere. Now we have the change in game plan from Cole, but I will say, just to build upon that point I was making, Grim is still waiting outside of B, aggro towards main, denying that aggression later in the round, and leaving a path open to go back B if they don't like what they see at A.
Oh, dude, 1 HP after that nade from JT, and that's enough for James. He'll be happy that he's still just playing the round. It's the AWPer after all. But that one hurts. JT could have just found that opening kill. He did so much damage. Grim, right fighting B, wins his engagement, but there's the setup, the swing. Playing a bit of a ranged round now. Our Outsiders not getting picked close. Chiron has lower with that deep smoke. Complexity, keep the pressure on. Chiron, you know he wants to get involved. I feel like he's going to take a swing as soon as he can once that util's done. And there he is, through the Molotov even. Takes a little lick of damage, but he's going for that info. He wants to know where Cole are ending up. It is A. Fang has a lot of room, but they don't even have main. The pressure's on Fang
the
to get these kills, and he's still looking at tempo. He needs to hurry up. They pop through with 25 seconds. They don't even give room for Fang to lurk on this T side right now. I'm not liking how gung-ho Cole are when Fang's out middle. Give him the space. Flick considers it. He turns around now, and hallzerk has a 1v4 on his plate. Yeah, Cole needs to give Fang more room, man. If you're going to rely on a guy lurking out mid, it doesn't work if you keep popping through smokes and committing to bomb sites before he's even had time. I bet Fang the whole time is calling, I have room, give me time. And they pop through the smoke, Harry. That's a bit of a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, you know, the thing that's kind of even more heartbreaking about it is I think, you know, you could have popped through the smoke in the exact same way, just in 5 seconds, and it would have made it that much, you know, would have made the mid-lurk that much stronger from Fang. The only reason that Flick goes back and looks, he's like, oh, well, they flash, no one else has come through, they're not pressuring me at main anymore. I'm going to up and leave. I'm going to go and check. Feels like they're waiting for the flank. Over on the mainstream, Liquid, 3 kills away from denying FaZe a chance at the Spodek and making it through themselves. Over here on ours, it's not so good for NA. They're on the back foot. This has fallen on deaf ears, this little partial investment round. And a 2v4 presents itself as Outsiders get aggressive up against the Pistols.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for NA for a while. They even won the half, if you remember that. But Outsiders, this has been a stellar CT side. Flit and Fame causing nuisances at A. Chiron has been a rock as that B anchor. And Complexity, a couple of little mistakes have cost them their lead. James Orps at B now as well. He should be absolutely good for one. And Putting a player in the clutch is not going to make it easy. Chiron jumps the gun. James now needs that one that we mentioned. And 20 seconds for them to get through. The smoke is too deep. James ready. He hits his chance. And now they could even go through the smoke together. He's spamming it. Flick climbs up and over. And Fang is not ready. Why would he be? 13 rounds to the outsiders as they set themselves up. And yes, it happened, Harry. Liquid have made it to the Spodek. In that 3-on-3, they closed it. They have eliminated FaZe Clan. And NA at least can celebrate that.
That is wild. That is wild. The defending champions at Katowice. The team 1 win away from completing the Intel Grand Slam. Gone and eliminated by Liquid, who make it to the quarterfinals. Well, let's see if it's a good night for NA or if it's a great night for NA.
Nice.
Right now, outsiders are up in this lead. 4 rounds to the good. Cole coming in with another bye. We've got hallzerk's AWP. For outsiders, James donning that up like you would expect.
Outsiders themselves, no strangers to the Spodek. We saw them there last year in the playoffs as well. With this same squad, similar squad at least. With Flit, but not quite yet with Chiron, of course. They fell to G2 in their quarterfinal. Mad overpass, oh sorry, Mirage, triple overtime if you remember it. Oh, Grim holds his nerve. Still going to try and put pressure on B, but again, Cole don't have lower, so this is only a bit of a ruse for now. Complexity have plenty of time to regroup. Outsiders are so strong on this B site at the moment. They really thought the commitment was coming in. Now they're going to have to start pulling back. But you wouldn't walk out A without using util, especially not with how contested A main has been for Complexity. So Fame is confident to leave that area open for some time. Now he gets back in position, flashing for him and Flit to get set up in the site as Complexity conga line. We've got hallzerk throwing in what I presume to be a heaven smoke, and they might go right through one of their own.
Yeah, JT walks it in dry. Flash after the fact. It's good. It denies that trade. Only for a moment. Oh, hallzerk never even sees Chiron. That's a bullet through the wall to find him. And that could be a real turning point in the round. That might force the save out of outsiders on numbers alone. They're all grouped over towards the heavens. Not normally a team that like going for these man disadvantage rounds, and so they're writing this one off. They're calling the save on it.
Yeah.
And that one kill from hallzerk, that one spam AWP shot, that decides the outcome of this round. hallzerk had a very troublesome time.
Yeah,
a very, very rough start. But if he can start landing some shots, you know, if that little wall bang, if that one kill to put you onto double digits to close the gap, can have him get activated, have him get switched on. Complexity might still be in with a chance here.
Yeah, even though outsiders just got set back up, right? They leave it open all round, Cole don't take it, and then it is contact after all. They just go running through that smoke before the utils even out from hallzerk, and they find that entry from JT. Brute forces A. So many of these rounds coming down to that opening kill, and so many of these rounds for Cole have been just contact hits. I mean, both of their winning rounds in this half have been that. They want to go back to it this time a little bit pacier. All right, JT just taking that space immediately as flashes, mollies, everything gets lobbed up into this bomb site. Fame's going to drop in to commit. He's got James above him with the AWP. And oh, he's even going to flash his rifler into this position. Floppy, close by the baskets. Don't know if a flash will get him. It did. He's blind, but it expires. Fame's too late to make this play. And oh, finally converts it. Good spray, holds on, wrestles with it. Chiron dives out of the dark smoke as he trades damage with JT. It's a nade to put the captain down low. Chiron, he's stuck between worlds right now. He's stuck out in the open. The smoke gives him a bit of room. James trades onto Grim, but it's still Fang that they don't know about who made it through this smoke, and he's waiting for help.
Yeah, they have no clue about this second player. James clearly suspects, but Not able to capitalize. Chiron saves his captain. 40 seconds, Complexity. They've still got time. They're going to try and get tricky with it, but look at Outsiders uprooting this move. Fame. He's missed the timing. It looked like he was going to hold the window. I thought he was going to hold the window. He should have been holding the window. They knew they were lower. But Complexity have found this gap. As a result, Fame confirms that B-Long is clear, but it's a very late penny drop here for the Outsiders. A route to the plant open. Complexity with that bomb down. hallzerk gets more deadly in the post plant with this AWP. 2 players wrapping him. He's going to go looking for them. Flash is good. hallzerk off the angle. Going back in. There's one from the AWP. The second man going to attempt the trade, but hallzerk's bearing down upon him, and James is left saving.
Fame got scared there. He didn't wide swing. He could have swung on that shot. He would have had the AWP. hallzerk was stuck in the corner. His gun was down. Fame's only way to win that was to wide swing instantly off the contact. But he doesn't bite. And a couple of missed sitters for Fame in that round put Cole up to 11. My, oh my. I can't believe that after Chiron somehow catches Fang, who walks through the B smoke. He was watching Dark, somehow flicks last second, finds that kill, saves James, who's getting fired at from the jail position. That's all over the place. What sixth sense for Chiron to turn?
It's not his responsibility to be holding that. That's what makes it so wild. But yeah, dude, no, that round is rough for Fame. Outsiders kind of left themselves gambling on the idea that the bomb was long and that JT was alone lower. And that's why I got so, freaked out by the fact that Fame didn't hold the window.
That's sick.
Because from that window position, you can watch for the bomb rotating. Even when it leaves B, he can still get involved. He could have still locked it down. They try their hand at the fast B play. They try to run back one of these just dry fights in, and it's not gone well. Complexity, 2 men dead to the 5-7, and now everyone else is falling. It's just fine. This round is a non-starter. 1v5 in the blink of an eye versus next to nothing, really. Just that saved AWP and a hero gun invested in for the Outsiders. It's the pistol that steals most of the glory.
Unbelievable. Especially with, Kicker. He's had a couple of shaky rounds on this B bomb site, but if you count the pistol round with that 4K from jail, and now this one, a hugely important swing round that Cole don't have the money for. Fang, he's just on damage duty. As many as he can get is the objective. He's been spotted. Everyone's going to face him together. Tries to pull a nade. You're not going to get given any suffrage in this site. And Kicker will finish what he started. 3 kills. Him and Chiron have been the cold killers on B. And Complexity have had to call their final timeout. This is their map pick going into an overpass that is a scary team to play on it. The first time the Complexity have had to take on the Outsiders since the PGL Major. And even then, different squads, different AWPer. Yakinda's still in the team. Almost incomparable rosters. And what a brutal dose of reality for Complexity, who have had a great tournament, who have taken so many upsets, who have knocked Mouse down, who even beat Fnatic, who are on a bit of a tear. But right now, previous major winners, Outsiders, with the new kid on the block in Chiron, who has been so solid here in Katowice, they are getting ready to shut out the first map.
Yeah, Complexity, they gone through like the Grim Reaper with his scythe, a lot of the major playoff teams. But it's the ones that made it all the way to the final, to lift the trophy in Rio, that look to do them in.
Oh, Fang's burning. 70.
Flit
even a wallbang would end it.
Flit knows he doesn't need to overstay his welcome now in middle. Fang trying to get tricky with these timings, but won't get given a fight here. Oh, hallzerk and Fame have an awkward engagement over towards main. Both the AWPer and the rifle are pushing. They meet one another on an awkward timing, but it's Chiron to break the silence of this round.
Get out.
An early 5v4. Traded out by Grim. And a moment of solace for Complexity. They finally get a leash back on Chiron. Fang has found this full timing up through mid.
And they've got time this round. Last time it ran out. They're letting him. They're waiting. They're giving him space. He has won the round.
Yeah, there is some weirdness.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, the A main push came in while this was happening. Fame tries to play trigger discipline, but eventually had to take that fight. Still, it leaves this one in a very, very weird spot. They flush out the lower player. Jame is low, but Flit tries to uproot. Spam damage back his way. And Grim thankfully steps up and is the hero. 4 in the round to keep Complexity in this one that much longer.
That is a freakish round for Grim. Let's see that back because he hit every headshot he had to after outsiders play with their food. Sticky fingers for Fame. Still got that kill late on JT. Threw the round into disarray. And it's up to Grim, again the hero of Cole for so many games, for so many maps. Saves the day. Even this final shot, Flit had no chance. Cole is still in this one, and they can break the money here and now. Jame, glass AWP. No kit in the round. hallzerk's even donning his. Oh, nice flash peek in middle. Fame sets up Flit for that kill to Fang. All the Fs, but still no respect in mid. Cole contact A. Fame getting here just in time.
Another one of these contact walks. Fame discovers it, but they've already overrun the site. Flit looking like he wants to try and deny this plant. Could be in position to do so. That Molly's locking him out for the time being. And he won't get an angle over the top of it.
Oh.
Grim trying to manipulate the mid rotates. Flit comes out with one for the outsiders. Floppy looking for this trade. Leaves us in an even odds bout, a 3v3 wrap round to flush Grim out of middle. That alleviates a lot of the pressure here. The outsiders, they were being pinned in by this mid man, but now they've gotten past him. It's just hallzerk left to beat. Easier said than done. hallzerk's on a tear. 2 in the round. He just needs one more to walk it over the line, and there isn't time. Kickert's running away. hallzerk with a big round, stepping up in the clutch. Right when they needed him to, the Norwegian AWPer finds his footing and keeps Complexity coming in on this comeback.
And if he re-peeked off that first kill, he would have died to Jame on the angle, but Jame gets caught throwing a nade to get Kicker back in. He peeks under the scope, he catches the captain with nades out, and he goes on to win the 1v3. Nice to see Grim in that mid-lug as well, this time with no Fang, and Grim gets away with a lot. Even though he gets flanked, the clock lets outsiders down for a change, and no kit costs them. This one is on a knife's edge. Who will slip first? Cole, this round has let them down so many times with these dry contact Bs, but it's only Chiron this time with a smoke and a USP. Sure, the smoke might garner a little bit of respect, but how quick will those rotates be? Oh, JT from Dark, he's found that kill. That will roll out the red carpet. Before the CTs can get back in position, the round is already done. Jame is saving his AWP, and he knows it. Cole, sometimes the easiest ones can be difficult, and they can cost the most when you lose them. They won't drop the ball here. 14-14, a guarantee of 30 rounds, and maybe even more.
I think it's interesting to think as well, right? Down there in the Hall of Heroes, we've seen how it's all laid out, right? Just imagine in your peripheral vision, if you're Grim, if you're Jame, you see Liquid, you know, celebrating after their win over FaZe, knowing what that means. Yeah. You know, for Grim, his ex-team, they've just made it through to the spot egg. For Jame and this squad, it's Yakindar, right? And Yakindar back at Rio, you know, that was even a big talking point. This idea of, you know, how does it feel? Everyone thought outsiders would fall off now that you've left the team. Yeah. And, you know, he was left as the outsider looking in that instance. He was the guy who, you know, didn't get the invite to the party.
Yeah, I mean, Jame could have been laughing the entire way, right? Even if you look at Buster, you know, obviously a long time away from the server. Here in Cloud9, an underperformance as an individual, as a team as well. Cloud9 didn't put up what they should have. but James still needs to lock in the Spodek again. This would be the third playoff run in a row for James in Katowice. Of course, one of those years being online. And last year, even then, a disappointing finish without a single map taken in the playoffs. James got to put the team on his back right now, as he has in so many matches, but he's gone a bit quiet here. Barely positive. Instead of saving the AWP, he needs to save the day. And he'll have his chance to here in middle.
Yeah, both these AWPers on either side of the coin struggled to get going, but the difference is hallzerk has been able to find his impact in these last few rounds. James has not had the same success story. So if there ever was a time for that CT AWP to come alive, it's now. He's in the right place at the right time, and Fang learns about it the hard way. Fame wins that 1v1, but nailed by Grim, who's having a fantastic performance here. He wants there to be 2 NA teams in the Spodek. Well, he's going to have to continue this streak. Dead. Grim out of the picture now. It's Floppy and hallzerk who have got to join together and cook up a 2v4. The delay of this bomb plant is huge. These smokes are going to start to fade. This second tap now, this is where the outsiders swing. hallzerk dead, but he does get the bomb down in his dying breath, teeing Floppy up for a chance in the clutch. Low on health. No chance, surely, and out with that swing. Kicker puts a stop to him.
hallzerk had a chance. He had a chance to stick that bomb. He could have put it down the first time. Floppy had the cover. The heaven smoke was there, but he doesn't believe it. Fake down and can't even get off the plant this time. Floppy is just too much. Outsiders have done it on their opponent's map pick, poised to end it here and now. At least we have a buy for Complexity who can compete, but Outsiders, a sigh of relief. We call them the hardest team to put away, and even though Cole grinds back on the T side, it might be all in vain.
Yeah, you know, there must be a real sinking feeling in Complexity right now. The idea that you were so close, that could have been the round that made this so easy for you. Outsiders would have been broken up against 15. They would have had nothing. But instead, this Outsiders squad, who, as you say, you know, the story always was it's incredibly hard to put games away against these guys. And that was throughout multiple iterations of the roster. And it's even more impressive now that with Chiron, such a young and unproven player, on the big stages, that's still holding true here. The full 30 rounds. Complexity aiming for overtime. Outsiders just 5 kills away from stealing their opponent's map pick.
He scares me. Kicker and Chiron have stepped up massively in these previous few hits. And again, it's as contact as can be for Complexity. Jail has been the biggest problem piece. They haven't been able to clear Kick It out of this position, but James forces the kill, and now the attention's diverted. They will get cut in 2. Floppy trades that frag. James still sits at the back of the site, able to avoid the Molotov, but the biggest issue is that bomb. It's out in the open. It's been mollied off. Everyone can rotate in. Even a flank can activate for Fame. Collar on a recovery mission, and they do at least get that kill, but there's so much more left.
hallzerk just spammed out James. That was a full 30-round mag, spam through the main smoke. Oh, and it's pulled it back into a 3v2. Chiron, this guy's been such a nuisance, such a problem, but he doesn't check for JT. This has been a private 1v1 between the two of them, even in the first half. And so now, a 1v3 that Flit's been tasked with. Cole going around the world. They don't have this bomb. This will leave them with very little time.
Yeah, they're going to find nothing on this hunt. There's no way they search CT. The time is going to be a factor here. 30 seconds. JT doesn't want to go before his team are ready to play off the back of him, and they don't want to split up, so they'll never see him. This should still be no way in for Flit. But with the range in his favor, with no smoke to stop the cross, Flit, he has a chance.
Damage done to hallzerk, but not the killing blow. That's what would have been needed. He does go back in for it. hallzerk's given him a chance in the 1v2. Plant comes in. Flick can't do a thing about that, but he's still alive. They swing him together, and that is a confident display. Complexity, they give him the fights in the 2v1 only to steal that one away and send us into overtime.
This game has really got it all, and I have no idea where it's going, but Complexity know they need their map pick in this series. Overpass is such a scary position to be up against the Outsiders with their track record. Very nice try for Flit, but Complexity, they have been confident, even in the most scary positions. Always willing to re-peek. Think about Fang winning his 1v1 against Flit in the first half. Grim and some of the swings in this T side. Complexity have not been scared to throw everything they can at Outsiders. And Kick It goes back to what almost opened up this half in the first place. Got a molly outside of main. Jay hits his over on A. That's the first time we've seen him play this position. Very common. Orping spot. Kicker gets spotted. But with a 5v4, no way he's giving away this kill when he's a solo B player. We'll drop that smoke as Chiron rotates in with another AWP. Outsiders playing cheeky. Chiron looks down below. And Floppy might just walk into this orb.
Not what you're expecting here if you're Floppy. Not what you've had to contend with yet at all on this T side. Even Jame, while he's been mobile, hasn't really been fighting from dark. It's not a challenge that Complexity have had to face yet.
If he goes late enough that his team are out, Chiron will have to eventually turn around. It's on to whether they can kill Kicker. They're going to trap him in dark, or he has to run back, but Floppy goes before the molly appears, and Chiron's ready for it.
Yeah, now he gets to get involved with the A play as well. Gets to try and shut out the play through main, rather. Flit nails the shot on hallzerk crossing, and Fang is removed. The AWP step up. Flit with a lovely hold as well. Outsiders take the first in OT.
Oh, if Floppy's a few seconds later there, Chiron feels so much pressure to turn around with that AWP, but it never happens. And this jail position, I'd love to see it get mollied by Complexity, because Kicket's been there so many rounds. After he uses his smoke, he sits there close, and it's so easy to clear if you have util. Obviously, if CT smoke it off, they can just jump out of danger. But it's something Complexity haven't even thrown at him yet.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the sad things in that spot. Well, hang on a moment. This is a fast A play if ever I've seen one. Now that's a good nade onto Floppy, but he's going to try and set up everyone else with these flashes. Outsiders know that this is the A play. They've rotated everyone over, and they're all here holding the line. Complexity fight hard to bring this one to OT, but it's not looking good now that we're there. Outsiders collapse upon that A site. The flashes telegraph the play. They immediately know what's up, and they waste no time bringing everyone over to lock down that bomb site.
I love the way the Outsiders are defending A as well. They're dropping that stairs smoke, which is so annoying. It lets the T's get into the site to try and plant, but it gives them so much more room to just hold up behind it. Jame does it there. We saw Fame doing it earlier as well against Floppy. You just have so much more cover, and Complexity can't waste time spamming the smoke forever. Consistently getting this nade damage, not this round though. Outsiders, they are looking for a clean sweep in a game that's been T-sided. Looking for a 3-round defensive half.
I mean, this is where in OT for Cole, the fact they even had to fight for this, you know, the nerves are peaking. The anxiety is there, the trepidation. For Outsiders, it's another day in the office.
Yeah.
And Chiron, every step of the way, has answered the call. This round only good for one, but Jame inside of the site. They didn't expect a fourth player here. Why would you? They're wrapping behind him, and Floppy will flush him out.
Behind you.
They don't know about Fame. Fast through the main flank.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Grim wanted to fight that. And now it's left in the 1v1. The best laid plans might have gone awry here. Complexity. They try to nail him, but they can't. And it's a flawless CT side from the Outsiders. This has teed them up to steal Anubis at the 11th hour and go a map up in this series with everything on the line.
And the rookie, again, what a rock he's been in this map. Chiron has put up so many multi-kills on the B-bomb site. He has not let the stress get to him. He's bringing the energy that outsiders so desperately require, and he is fighting forth for the Spodek. And Cole already look disgruntled. That was not enough, and they know it. Not on their map pick. Not on the T side. And now one mistake, a misnade, a bad comp, a second of indecision will cost them their pick in this series. And with that, sets outsiders up for a very confident 2-0. Of course, there are no guarantees. But I feel like this one had to be Cole's. And they know that too. Floppy getting curious. Famous flank ended last round against this exact man. And now Floppy looks to force it. He's in no hurry. He's got the AWP right beside him. Outsiders contact out mid. Fang, another point of contention. He's not had anyone there to flash for him, but finally JT gets there in time. Great pop through the doors. Flip v Fang comes up for the North American, and now Outsiders forced into B.
Yeah, but it was just one player here. JT, that rotate that was meant to come and help Grim out is dead immediately, and Grim deleted as well. It's all been uprooted. It's all coming undone. Complexity, man disadvantage, map point for the Outsiders. They've got to dig deep if they want to build back into this 3v4. And Outsiders are not feeling the same pressure as Complexity. They never were. Double setup down in dark. Kicker waiting back at long. There's so many players that can play around the time here. Complexity, they've already let this bomb tick down halfway. That could hamstring them in the long run. It's Chiron to close. The youngster of the Outsiders stands up and delivers. Steals the map from Complexity with a beautiful spray down a close. They said they brought him in to get headshots. Well, that's what he does in that closing sequence. My word.
What a beast. And now we move to Overpass. It's Outsiders' pick. It's a map they were running rife on at the major. They even closed the grand final against Heroic on it, for crying out loud. And they've...